Oh, wait a minute. Oops, stop, stop. So, let's continue on our discussion of infinite intelligence and how it connects with your body. How? I'm Rev Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. As I explained over the past couple of days, I want to expand our knowledge of how we interact with the forces of infinite intelligence because it helps us to know how infinite intelligence interacts directly with our bodies. The primary connections with infinite intelligence are found in the energy centers at locations that correspond to certain major organs in our body. Uh, in Eastern spiritual teaching, these energy centers are referred to as chakras, which in Sanskrit means disc or wheel. That's because they're spinning like wheels. Another way to describe these energy centers is as vortex. Now, these energy centers interact with the physical body through two major vehicles. The first is the endocrine system, which is a series of organs within our body that secrete hormones to keep the body functioning. Uh, in association with the energy centers, the endocrine centers, endocrine organs, is a group of nerves called the plexus, because this is where they meet up and are very intensely operating in one particular area of the body. Anyway, because of these correspondences, each of the energy centers that I'm talking about can be associated with particular parts of the body and with particular functions of the body uh, that are controlled by that endocrine gland. Now, if viewed from the rear of the body, you can see that these centers line up vertically along the line. There's 7 of them. Actually, there are 8 of them. There's 7 of them within the body. And then there's an additional one located above the head, which is about 16 inches above the head. So over this 4-day period, Monday through Thursday, we are examining each of the centers and their functions individual. So far, we've discussed the first 4 of these energy centers: the root, the sacral. Let me bring it up so you can take a look at it. The root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, and that's it. The root, the sacral, 1, 2, 3, 4, the solar plexus, and the heart centers. But as a recap, let's go over the locations of these particular centers so we can familiarize you with those. First, we have the root, which is located at the base of the spine. By the way, please click on the thumbs up button below. And if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. Remember, I would love to hear from you in your comments, questions, thoughts. Use the chat box on the left, or if you're looking at the replay, use the comments section below. So, as I was saying, we're going to go over the locations. So we have the root, which is at the base of the spine. We have the sacral, which is located just below the navel. Then we have the solar plexus, which is located above the navel and just below the chest. And then we have the heart, which is located in the chest area. Now, the 5th and 6th are the throat, vortex, and the third eye vortex or energy center. The throat is in the throat, the vortex, the third eye is here, and the crown is on the top of the head. And as I said, the eighth, which is called the soul star, is located 40 centimeters above the head, or about 16 inches. So let's get specific. Let's deal with the fifth and the sixth. Starting with number 5, the throat energy center. Throat energy center is located in the throat, and it is linked to the through communication, through sound, speech, writing, and thought expression. Now, according to healers, this energy center is affected by the truthfulness with which you speak, and its function can be actually reduced by lying. Now, the throat energy center vibrates in the color blue. Wearing blue here. There's a legend which I found interesting. The legend is that the ancient Egyptians wore neck jewelry made of lapis lazuli. Let me show you what lapis lazuli looks like. Lapis lazuli is a very deep blue vibrating stone, and it's supposed to purify the communication center and ensure the truth-telling. So this stone, lapis lazuli, and it came in all different shapes. In fact, there was some on the mask of Tutankhamun. So anyways, I thought the vibration, it was thought to vibrate the truth and enlightenment. And that's why it became known as the truth stone. So unless you were wearing a lapis lazuli on your neck, your words would not be believed, and you could not be a trusted negotiator. So that's the throat energy center. Now, the throat energy center, when it is open and in balance, you have no problems expressing yourself. You might be doing so in a creative way. But when that energy center is out of balance, and you tend to speak in hesitant ways, and you're probably introverted and shy. As I said earlier, not speaking the truth may adversely affect this center, and it could result in health problems because it's working directly with the thyroid. I forgot to mention that. It works directly with the thyroid gland, and the thyroid gland secretes hormones that control the rate of your heart, they control your weight, your blood pressure, your cholesterol levels. So it's a pretty important gland. Now, if that center is out of balance and overactive, then you tend to speak too much, usually too fast, and you'll become hyper, and you try and dominate and to keep people at a distance. You're actually the wall. You create a wall of words around yourself, speaking so much that people just don't want to be around you. I can recall being in the Air Force, and one of my colleagues, my fellow airmen, had thyroid problems. And I remember he was always talking, and very hyper. He ended up in the hospital. So another effect of an out-of-balance communications or throat energy center is that you are a bad listener. Talk a lot. It's hard to talk and listen at the same time. So that's the throat. The next energy center I want to talk about is the brow, or the third eye energy center. Now, the third eye is located between your eyes, about an inch above the bridge of the nose. It's the spot where people who practice Hinduism wear the dot, which is known as a bindi. Now, the bindi signifies the location of the third eye, and the third eye in Hinduism represents wisdom and concentration. Now, generally, The third eye is identified as the center of psychic power, uh, identified with spirit energies. It's identified with higher intuition and light. You often hear the third eye mentioned in matters of the spiritual and the psychic. Now, the third eye is associated with the autonomic nervous system and the pituitary gland. It's connected to the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, the eyes, the brain, the nervous system. And the third eye energy center is all about insight and visualization. Now, when the third eye is balanced and open, you should have good intuition. Not only that, you should be able to visualize very well. Your ability to visualize is enhanced, and you can tend to see things that others can't. There's a tendency to fantasize, but fantasizing is a two-edged sword, actually, because if you take steps to bring your fantasy into physical reality, then you're known as a visionary. If you don't, then you're known as a dreamer. So your third eye is can be of good use to you. If your third eye energy center is out of balance and it's underactive, then you're probably not very good at thinking for yourself. You may tend to rely too much on authoritative people. You may be rigid in your thinking, relying on your beliefs too much rather than discovering what's really out there. You might even get confused easily. That's if it's underactive. On the other hand, if your third eye energy center is out of balance and it's overactive, you may live in a world of fantasy too much. In excessive cases, you could even hallucinate. So that's our throat, which is dealing with communication, vibrating in the color of blue. The third eye, which is dealing with, that's our psychic or spiritual matters, intuition. It actually vibrates in the color of indigo, very dark blue, very dark, blue-black. So your third center, and that's your throat center and your third eye center. So anyway, what is the point of talking about all these energy centers? As you know, I'm very attuned to making you very knowledgeable about what's going on, very knowledgeable about the functioning of your mind and spirit as we work with infinite intelligence. So knowledge is power. And so I'm seeking to help you learn about these energy centers and how they affect your personality and your body, so you can begin to gain confidence in your relationship with infinite intelligence. You can gain confidence because you can begin to understand where certain reactions and needs are coming from on the level of spiritual energy. And with this kind of knowledge, you can gain more control of yourself as you work to elevate your consciousness to the level of becoming a spiritual warrior. That's where we're heading for, becoming a spiritual warrior. So tomorrow we're going to continue our discussion of the energy centers with an exploration of the crown energy center, number 7, and also we're going to take a look at the one that's often ignored, the 8th center, which is about 16 inches above your head, and we'll discuss why it's being ignored, but why it's becoming more important to pay attention to. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. In the meantime, let us close with prayer. Thank you. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence. Thank you. Thank you for bringing us together in this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and join in the work we have come here to do. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we are beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. And as we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. And we know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise, because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain that we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier, healthier, and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. Please remember to click on the thumbs up button if you haven't already done so. Please choose to subscribe. And I'd love to hear from you and what your questions, your thoughts, your comments. It's been nice talking with you, and I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. In the meantime, I am Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind.